Chapter 16, Digestion and Absorption. 16.1, Digestive System. 16.2, Digestion of Food. 16.3, Absorption of digested products. 16.4, Disorders. So, do you notice the order in which it is given? So, first we are getting to know about the system, then we are getting into the process of it, digestion, the physiology part, then the absorption, then disorders. Okay, so let's get started. Food is one of the basic requirements of all living organisms. The major components of our food are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Okay, so the major components, you don't have vitamins and minerals. Do you note that? So, vitamins and minerals are also required in small quantities. So, what do they mean by small quantities? So, they mean in micrograms or milligrams. Okay. Food provides energy and organic materials for growth and repair of tissues. So, why do we need food? For energy, for growth, for repair of tissues. The water we take in plays an important role in metabolic processes and also prevents dehydration of the body. Yeah, so number one role, metabolic process. Not only for thirst, you drink water for metabolic process as well. Number two, it prevents dehydration. Biomacromolecules in food cannot be utilized by our body in their original form. So they'll have to be broken down and converted into simple substances in the digestive system. So basically, in this paragraph, why do we need food? Number one, it's a basic requirement. But why is it a basic requirement? Because it provides energy and organic materials for growth and repair of tissues. Okay. Question number one, you've answered. Number two, do we eat only food? Do we not drink water along with it? So, what is the requirement for this water? So, the answer is it plays an important role in metabolic processes and it prevents dehydration of the body. Now, you would ask me, okay, we're taking in food. So, why is it that there has to be a process called digestion? Why is it even important? That is because biomacromolecules cannot be utilized by our body in their original form. So, they are basically broken down and converted to simple substances by the digestive system. So, do you understand the significance of digestion? Yes. So, after the food has been broken down into simple substances, your body needs to absorb it, right, for producing energy. So, that is what is the process of absorption. So, this process of conversion of complex food substances, okay, let's say you have some complex food substance like this, you're basically converting into simple absorbable forms. Okay, so this is what is essentially digestion. So it's carried out by a digestive system, which is your first topic. And how is it carried? By two methods, one being your mechanical method, the other one is biochemical. Mechanical essentially involves the chewing of food, all those things, okay? Biochemical is the use of enzymes and all. Okay, we'll talk about it in the coming sections. General organization of the human digestive system is shown in figure 16.1. So yeah, here we have the oral cavity, mouth, submaxillary and sublingual glands. So these are basically salivary glands. Okay. And another salivary gland here, given here. This is also your salivary gland. So there are three pairs of salivary glands: parotid, submaxillary, sublingual. I'll explain you. Then you have the pharynx. This is your esophagus. Do you notice here? They haven't mentioned, but let me mention it. That's your trachea. Okay. Here you have your liver. Notice the side where the liver is located. It's on your right side. And stomach is on your left side. And you see the gallbladder. You have the pancreas. On the left, duodenum. Okay. Just make a note of the shape of the duodenum. It'll come later. Then you have the jejunum. Then you have the ileum. Okay, so the food passes via duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Then it comes to the cecum, and here you have the vermiform appendix. Yeah, then you have the ascending colon, transverse, descending, sigmoid, rectum, and anus. Okay, so I'll explain you each when we are going to discuss each section. So coming to the first topic, which is digestive system. The human digestive system consists of the alimentary canal and the associated glands. Okay, that is what I have written in a simplified way. 16.1.1 Alimentary canal. So first we'll finish off this one, then we'll come to the associated glands. The alimentary canal begins with an anterior opening, the mouth, and it opens out posteriorly through the anus. The mouth leads to the buccal cavity or oral cavity. Okay. So this oral cavity is basically it has got what are the constituents. Just look into your mouth, look into your oral cavity. What do you find? You find your teeth and tongue, right? So it has got a number of teeth and a muscular tongue. So first we'll talk about this teeth. Each tooth is embedded in a socket of jawbone. Okay, so that's important because this type of attachment is called thecodont. Okay. Majority of mammals, including human beings, form two sets of teeth during their life. A set of temporary milk or deciduous teeth replaced by a set of permanent or adult teeth. So the first set of teeth will fall and then you get a new set, which is your permanent or adult teeth. I want you to make a note of this point, that temporary milk teeth or deciduous teeth, both are the same. So this type of dentition is called diffeodont. Diffeo meaning twice. Alright, that is two sets of teeth. Okay. An adult human has 32 permanent teeth. Okay, so you would ask me how many different types of teeth are there. So we have, if you look into your teeth, you'll find that every teeth does not have the same shape. It is not the same. So which suggests that it has got 4 different types. So it has got incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Okay, so each of these teeth, the shape of each tooth has got its own significance. Okay, so this is for cutting, this is for tearing, so on and so forth. This is for grinding and all. So if you look at the arrangement of teeth in each half of the upper and lower jaw in the order I, C, P, M, M, it's represented by a dental formula. Okay, so this formula is for the half of the upper and lower jaw. Okay, if you have this upper jaw and this is your lower jaw, you divided it into half. Okay, so you're basically talking about this portion and this portion. That is 2 1 2 3 by 2 1 2 3. So 2 1 2 3 by 2 1 2 3. It's in the order of I, C, P, M, M. Incisors 2, canines 1, premolars 2 and molars 3. Again the same for the lower jaw. The hard chewing surface of the teeth made up of enamel helps in the mastication of food. Very important. If they ask you what helps in mastication of food, it's not the tongue, it's the enamel. Okay, just make a note of it. That's very important. The tongue is a freely movable muscular organ. As I had shown you that oral cavity has got teeth and tongue. Having finished the teeth, let me just summarize this teeth. So human dentition, if you want to talk about the human dentition, it's basically diffeodont, heterodont, and thecodont. Okay, this is the summary. And what helps in the mastication of food? It is the enamel. Now let's talk about the tongue. The tongue is a freely movable muscular organ attached to the floor of the oral cavity by the frenulum. So if you take a tongue, and just lift it upwards, see your mouth in the mirror, so you'll find that the tongue is attached to the floor by a structure called as frenulum. That is your frenulum. Okay, you would notice this. Okay, you just lift your tongue upwards, then you'll notice that the tongue is attached by a structure called frenulum. The upper surface of the tongue has got small projections called papillae, some of which bear taste buds. So not all papillae bear taste buds. The oral cavity leads into a short pharynx, which serves as a common passage for food and air. So this is again very important. So which serves as a common passage for food and air? It is the pharynx. It's not the trachea, guys, it's pharynx. Make a note of it. The esophagus and the trachea open into the pharynx. You see that? So you should remember, if this is your pharynx, so you will have esophagus here at the back and trachea here. Okay. And how do you remember that trachea is in front of the esophagus? You should remember that, you can even live without food. You can survive without food for a day, but you can't survive without breathing for a moment, right? So in that way, so trachea will come first, that is in front, and esophagus will be situated just at the back of the trachea. So you see that trachea and esophagus. Trachea is basically the windpipe. It opens into the pharynx. A cartilaginous flap called epiglottis prevents the entry of food into the glottis. So what is glottis then? Glottis is the opening of the windpipe. So if you look at the trachea, so you will have what's called as a glottis. Glottis is the opening, which will be covered by a flap called epiglottis. So this will prevent the entry of food. Let's say this is your this is your food coming here. It's not visible. Okay, this is your food, let's say. So rather than getting into the esophagus, sometimes it's possible that if it's not closed, so it would enter here. So that's why you need a covering here. That's called as epiglottis. Okay, so if this is your glottis, this would be your epiglottis. So here you have the diagram. So this is your glottis, this is your epiglottis. One important thing for you to note here is that this epiglottis is a cartilaginous flap. They might ask you, is it a muscular flap or what? Okay, they may confuse you, so that's very important here. It's a cartilaginous flap. So during swallowing, okay.